Sit back and throw one back with your pinky in the air and a middle finger to the world, and join me, the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, as we look back on this day in pro wrestling history. But before we do, put that drink down, like, share, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get our wrestling history on. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, it is July 27th, and we're going to start off as we always do on a positive note. That's right, these are your pro wrestling birthdays. 1948, second generation wrestler, Greg Gagne. 1954, a listener of this show, the Bull, Manny Fernandez. 1957, the original Doink the Clown, Matt Bourne. 1969, it's the Game, Triple H. 1979, quite a tattoo artist, Shannon Moore. 1980, Dolph Ziggler. And last but not least, 1989, it's one of them young bucks, it's Nick Jackson. Of course, on the flip side of that coin, your pro wrestling deaths for July 27th. 2000, the voice of a wrestling generation, Gordon Solie. 2010, Otto von Heller. All right, enough of the sad stuff. It's time to get to the meat and potatoes. That's right, these are your pro wrestling history highlights for July 27th. Jumping in the Wayback Machine and going all the way to 1945, where we see Buddy Rogers defeat Dave Levine to win the Texas Heavyweight title in Houston, Texas. Leaping 11 years to 1956, Duke Kamuka and Tony Martin defeat Iron Mike DiBiase and Danny Plachis to win the Texas Tag Team titles in Houston, Texas, ending DiBiase and Plachis' second reign. Grabbing my bell bottoms and going to the 70s, 1978, during a New Japan Pro Wrestling show at the Budokan Hall in Tokyo, Worldwide Wrestling Federation World Champion Bob Backlund wrestled Antonio Inoki to a 1-hour draw in a 3 falls match. Inoki won the first fall in 20 minutes into the match, and Backlund won the second at the 36-minute mark, before they went the distance. Jumping a full decade to 1988, Stan Hansen defeats Tenryu in Nago, Japan to win the PWF World Heavyweight title and the NWA United National Heavyweight titles, which would later become part of the All Japan Triple Crown. Grabbing my flannel and going to the decade of grunge, 1990, Stan Hansen defeats Matsuhiro Misawa in Masato, Japan to win the vacant All Japan Triple Crown, the NWA International, NWA United National, and Pacific Wrestling Federation World titles. The title had been declared vacant when previous champion Terry Gordy was hospitalized. 1991, Steve Simpson and Chris Walker defeat Scott Anthony, aka Raven, and Rip Rogers in a tournament final to win the Global Wrestling Federation Tag Team titles in Dallas, Texas. And last but not least, 1996, Dr. Wagner Jr. defeats Aquarius, aka Yoshihiro Tajiri, to win the CMLL World Light Heavyweight title in Sapporo, Japan. Wagner had lost the title to Aquarius 8 days earlier, and neither of these title changes, which took place on Big Japan cards, were authorized by CMLL. Those were your short but sweet pro wrestling history highlights for July 27th. I'm the eclectic gentleman Stephen Watts, and we'll see you tomorrow.